All right, guys, we need to talk about if going carnivore or keto carnivore is dangerous, or do the benefits outweigh the dangers? Coming up now. We're live, guys. All right, let's get this poppin'. Y'all do not know. I feel like I've been rushing ever since I started horseback riding. My time is like, all right, let's get on to it. We're going to talk about this stuff is dangerous or not as you guys come into the chat. So here we go. And if there's any audio problems or anything, just let us know in the chat box. Yeah. Okay, so we got, I just want to make sure you guys are here. Make a little hello comment so we can see that the comments are coming in, FYI, because I see nothing. All right, so basically, the reason why I thought of talking about if there are risks or benefits is because there are risks and benefits. Now, do the risks outweigh the benefits? That's a possibility because all these other carnivore people try to make it, what's up, Deborah? Try to make carnivore seem like the cure-all and it'll fix everything and just eat all this meat. See all this? Woo. Eat all this meat. Boom. And you'll be fine. It doesn't work like that. So we need to clear this stuff up because I feel that people on the internet like to protect their narrative. You know, doesn't matter whatever they're into, that they protect it. And I'm here to say nothing is safe if you don't do it properly. So, and thank you, Lisa. All right. Now, the problem is, see that meat butt right there? Okay. That's not going to adapt you. Okay, so let's go through this meat here. These are different cuts of meat. I just did a screenshot of this. So if I step over here for a second, just so you guys can see better all the meat. Okay. There is some fat on this cut of meat right there, right? So that looks about 8 ounces, which is going to be way too much protein for a man and definitely for a woman. So that looks about 8 to 10 ounces, probably 8 to 10. Yeah, that's not enough fat. Okay. That's going to put somebody around 50, 60 grams of fat if they had that whole cut yeah, around 50. The problem is you need to hit between 200 to 300 grams of fat a day. So you're going to eat, what, 4 of these? That'd be too much protein. No one talks about this. No one's talking about this. Lisa's like, it's been a long time. Now we got this cut here, which has more marbling effect. That's why I like pork belly. Pork belly is like 85 to 90% fat. So you can have big cuts like this of meat. I'm like looking behind me as if there's going to be meat behind me where that's all green screen. Okay, and so we get to the leaner meats right here. And if some people are doing this, and there's no fat on it. People don't actually understand. This has more of a marbling effect, of course, which is great. Still too much protein. All of these cuts of beef and steak have fat on it, except for these 2 on the end, these middle pieces, but it's still not enough. And the point is to drive ketogenesis. Why no one? I don't know. This is not rocket science, people. Look, when you're doing any type of low carb diet, So Nikki's like, hi, Stephanie. I'm so happy to find you live. I'm new to Keto Convert, so I'm still trying to figure stuff out. Okay. So you want to drive ketogenesis when doing anything that's low carb because, okay, no one else is talking about this except for Stephanie. Now, see that muscle right there? See that muscle? Boom. This muscle needs two things to be happy: ketones or glucose glycogen. All of this meat, even though you ate a lot of it, it's not going to restore your glycogen. That's the gas tank in the muscle. So if my whole arm is a full gas tank on that meat, I'd fill myself on the protein to about here, like from here to here of gas. That's not enough. We need to fill a full tank. Where ketones, you have fat here, right? You can access fat here. And this fat can be converted into gasoline, period. So you are humming in luxury of a friggin' Bugatti body. Okay? Bugatti body. Y'all don't know what a Bugatti is? It's a high performance car. So, what's up, Christina? We need glycogen to be filled. So we need carbohydrates for that. If you want glucose, this meat, that's not going to fill you all the way up to the top. That means when you walk around stuffing yourself with meat, okay, you're not going to have the energy, desired energy that you need to not damage your energy balanced systems. Somebody's like, I go to the butcher and I couldn't find a good fatty cut of beef because well, of course you have ribeye and things like that, but it's super expensive. Like 8 ounce, probably $26. 10 ounce gets up to $32 for something you're going to eat in a day. It's just not worth it. Which is another thing. I really suggest that with beef, you guys, don't do corn fed. Okay, pork, chicken, not cow. It's really they can't touch corn. Now, for people in the chat, I will answer the questions if you just hold on a minute, because people on the replay have a conniption fit. Hey, Ja, it's nice to see you on. Ja just joined my keto course group, so it's awesome. Now, what we want to do is, so let's go over the amounts that are in this and say, like, for men and women, how much you would actually have. So this all looks huge, right? That's probably like 4 ounce cut of beef. You would have probably, let's say, for women, 3 ounces, 3.5 max, 2 to 3 down. That's it. Boop. Wait. Get this going right. Green screen's tripping me out this way. Okay.
Never.
The Greek guy, dude, chill. I'd like to see you do this. Okay, now we have this more marbling effect. So if I stand to the side, it'll be easier. So we're still going to have about this much right down. It'd be really great to get that middle section to get that fat going in. Same thing with this cut of beef here. Women are going to have basically between 2 to 3.5 ounces max. Normally I say 2 to 3, but 3.5 max, depending on how tall you are, how active you are, where your body might require just a little bit more protein. You have to realize with this meat, you guys, you have to chew it, which nobody chews anymore because we all in a hurry, like me coming to the studio. Nobody chews their food anymore. Then you have leaky gut. So why are not the other carnivore channels talking about this? Like, it's not rocket science. If you have low stomach acid and hypochlorhydria and you stuffing this meat down, you're not going to digest it very well. And because of your hypochlorhydria, you're not going to extract the nutrients that you need from it very well. So forget about keto adapting, okay? Just the meat fat. Now, when it comes to, let's say, pure carnivore, just chill. I want them to see the beef. If I stand closer to the camera, Greek guy, I'll take over. They can't see. That's the reason why I'm not standing closer for the moment. He worked very hard to set up the studio, so when I'm not standing on the place that he told me to, he's sitting there going like, are you a fool?
I'm sorry.
Okay. So what I just want people to do is, number one, just get an eyeball effect. Carnivore is not just these meats. Why people think eat a steak? Like, I love me some Sean Baker. I do. That's how I even found out about the carnivore diet. I think I might actually try to interview him one day. But I don't agree with eating a bunch of steak because I'm a woman. And a lot of women have metabolic damage, especially with their energy systems. Women tend to have 2 days in one, right? They get up, especially if you have children. You're getting up, you're taking kids to school, you're doing this, that, and the third. You come home, and then your second day starts on the same day. Most women I do consultations with, that's the issue. So they have estrogen dominance, polycystic ovarian syndrome, problems with their biliary system, and everything's clogged up and they can't poop. You eating all this with hypochlorhydria and you can't poop? Why is no one talking about this? Okay? If you can't poop and you stuff down 8 ounces of beef, you're going to have a problem, okay? And when you have meat rancidifying because you can't break it down right, you eating late, just guess what? You eat late, that stuff stays in your stomach because your body's like, I'm tired of working. I want to sleep. So it partially digests. That means that meat stays in the stomach, which is on this side, partially digested. It rancidifies and it putrefies. And us women already, men, you too, are toxic. Okay, so I don't know why, but Nikki, I'll get to you. Why I don't know why you can eat minced meat. Is that because of some digestive issues? So there are certain levels of why you can do carnivore or not, or what are the macros, and I think I should do a separate stream on that. But I want to get down to the hizzy of what's dangerous, which is kind of what I'm saying. You have hypochlorhydria, which is low stomach acid, hypo meaning low, and you have a gallbladder problem. Okay, you already have chronic constipation, you have leaky gut, and you trying to pound down all that meat? People run into thyroid issues, hair falling out, chronic constipation, or loose stool. They develop severe electrolyte issues, energy issues, lethargy, and they start gaining weight. People eat a lot of meat because they're still afraid of fat. You can't keto adapt on a bunch of protein. It's impossible. How do I know? Because I've worked with over 3,000 people. So I feel very confident because that's what you do not hear with all these other carnivore or keto or nobody people, because I actually sit and do consultations and these people pop up in my stream. So I'm not trying to juice you guys up with a bunch of crap and have you follow my narrative. Look, and Deborah's like, follow our consultation. They're packed with info that is geared just for you, which is true. Because all you guys have different things going on. Nobody's the same. People keep asking me for specific answers to general questions, and it's very, very hard. So, and Abyss, I'm going to get to all these comments as soon as I'm done with this, because I'm actually going to interview Ken Berry after this. Stay tuned. So we got to hurry up and not go too long on this stream today. Dr. Ken Berry, yes. And Mike Mutzel's video is almost done, right? The Greek guy, even though I've got to look at it and, give him the last little tweaks on it. Right, Greek guy?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, is coming up really soon, like tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High intensity health.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when it comes to the problems here, so here's the risks, so right? Let's go right into it because I'm kind of alluding to that. The risks are not getting enough fat to keto adapt. That's why I call it keto carnivore. And eating a bunch of meat when you already have a pre-existing thyroid condition, hypoglycemia, chronic constipation, and electrolyte issues. So all of those symptoms become exacerbated. Now, what the good thing is that a lot of you guys have leaky gut. Wanted to share a picture on my phone. I should have sent this to the Greek guy. Maybe I can send it now. And if I send you something, can you finagle it?
Yep.
Okay. I want you guys to see one of my clients that I helped heal her psoriasis and eczema with the keto carnivore, but it had to be done properly because she had a lot of issues.
Email, yeah.
Huh?
Email.
You want me to email it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go and find the image and email it while I'm explaining this to you guys. So the thyroid, let's break down the thyroid. And I'm not distracted. I'm a woman. We can do more than one thing, unlike men. Now, every woman's laughing. That's so true. Okay, where's the screenshot of this? Hold on a second, one second where I find this screenshot, and then I'm good to go with my multitasking. So, here they are. Okay, this picture is the bomb, bro. Okay. So essentially, this woman, she had really, really bad psoriasis, but also had the chronic symptoms, hypothyroidism. So I knew that it would be very, very dangerous to just put her on a carnivore diet without making it keto carnivore, because you can clear up your skin issues and help take down the inflammatory issues going on in your digestive tract. But if you're having lethargy and your hair's falling out, the process of healing goes way slower for the psoriasis. Okay, I just sent it. All right. So we want to do keto carnivore. The thyroid needs a lot of stuff. So the thyroid needs a lot of fat, right? You need the fat soluble and minerals with doing carnivore, because if the thyroid doesn't get its vitamin D, if it doesn't get its B12, if it doesn't get its zinc, you're the hair's gonna start falling out on carnivore. Okay, point blank, period. So you're gonna get that from organ meats. You're gonna get that zinc from liver, right? You're gonna get your vitamin C from liver, from trachea. You're gonna get your vitamin D from brain. These things, the fat soluble vitamins are gonna be the fat, especially like heart is really great. It's got a lot of fat encasing around beef heart. So yeah, did you cut away the text she wrote?
No.
You want to do that, or you want to keep the whole thing?
Okay, I will cut it out. One moment.
Yeah. Or it's up to you. I'll let you use your judgment. You can keep the whole thing. Keep the whole thing. So, Deborah says, I believe my daughter had severe eczema, but hasn't had a sign of it at all since starting keto years ago. Exactly. So, a lot of people run around with skin issues, gut issues, candida. I don't know how many guys have systemic candida. And I always say, stick your tongue out. And all the time, I keep seeing that thick white coat. And it's very noticeable because it'll be in the back. It'll start thicker on the back of the tongue. And it'll dissipate once it gets to the front of the tongue. I guess he wasn't ready before I came. Okay. So never mind this, you guys. He's trying to get that image in and has to resize it and whatnot. So the reason why the hair starts falling out on carnivore, without it being a ketogenic version, is because you are not getting enough stored glycogen from all the meat. And then typically people who've got thyroid issues have digestive issues. So it just stacks. Hair starts falling out. Start feeling really, really tired. Skin improves. So can we blow that up real big? Let's blow that up. Let's just smash the screen with it for a second and just, blow it up some more. No, you guys can see that? Okay, look at this, okay? This was my client a month ago. That was her a month ago. This is her now. She sent that to me the day before yesterday. Okay? This idiot was like, she didn't do her other leg. I said, dude, it's two different pictures, you dumb idiot. What's wrong with people? Like, just dumb, stupid. Like, she cleared up one leg, but she didn't clear the other. The point is, this is before and this is after, okay? So
But
this,
it's not specified underneath the picture. That's why he was confused. That's what
ever. I think she wrote that in the text that you cut out. So here we go. So this is her psoriasis, okay? And I decided to put her, she had never done keto. No, she had done keto with unsuccessful. And I said, let's go keto carnivore. So we went from this to this. What other carnivore people are doing that? Steph is, because I freaking consult people all the time, every day, blah, blah, blah. So this is what happened to her skin without her hair starting to fall out due to not enough ketone production. So, and we can take it, I hope everybody can see these images, because this to me, I don't know, I got goosebumps when I saw her, because I just spoke to her a month ago. I'm like, what the heck? She's like, oh, it's so good. I'm so happy. So I'm actually going to interview her, and we're going to I'm going to give her to have her give me all the photos of her back, her legs, or everything before, during, and after, to do a whole stream on her, because this is one of my best success stories without a woman who's got hypothyroidism and psoriasis to not have her hair falling out by eating just all that meat there.
You have her testimonials up.
And it says right there, you want to read that, Greek guy, with your nice Greek accent?
Hi Stephanie, I'm shocked at how fast my skin is healing with your recommendations of carnivore. Full stop. I've done exactly what you told me to do. I just want to share a few pictures, 1 month and now. I've suffered for over 10 years with this. My mind is totally blown. I'm able to save my legs. Happy tears. Namaste.
Right? This is why I do all this stuff, you guys. Clearly, I don't make a lot of money at this because I don't sell stuff, right?
Oops.
I just got involved with Ancestral recently, which is like, this is the bomb right there. I don't even want to go into it. So, okay, so we can get rid of that picture now.
Yes, we're going to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Fungal infection, Seb. Then you see what I did with that woman. So, all right. We're not ready for that picture yet?
My bad.
Shoot. Okay.
It was too calm.
It was too calm. Okay. So essentially, what you want to do is always drive ketogenesis. If you have hypothyroid, you can downregulate that T3. Now, I did a whole stream about how the thyroid works, which is fantastic. It helps you understand when you do a ketogenic diet, you could have an underlying thyroid condition that you're not aware of. So that's typically the problem, is that mostly women and some men walk around with low T3, and they could actually have raised TPO antibodies and having their, like, feeling a little bit of palpation in their throat and have full-on thyroid issues that they don't even know that they've got an issue until it's too late, or until obvious signs of constipation, hair falling out, dry skin, cold, all kind of, Raynaud's, with the tingling of the fingertips, tinnitus, vertigo. All these things are connected to the thyroid and hypothalamus, pituitary. Yeah. So the next problem is hypoglycemic people, also who go carnivore because they have gut issues, and then they go and try to eat a bunch of steak. You have run into the same problem. If you're not producing ketones, right, because your fats are too low, and unfortunately these meats don't have enough fat for how much you need to get in per day, which is 200 to 350, depending if you're a man, woman, and your height, but nothing under 200 grams of fat. You're not going to get that with also keeping your protein in the right amount to digest properly. Look, y'all, we can't chew, swallow, acid, which is low. People chew too fast, digest, have it end up in the small intestine, and have it go nice and smoothly with all this meat without getting the system to be backed up. People start chewing faster, swallowing faster, things become partially digested. The stomach acid's not doing the job to break it down. It ends up in the small intestine. which has now open permeable wall, and the body starts to have an immune reaction to eating all this meat. Then a lot of people are not eating grass-fed meat, red meat, especially beef. Red meat can be very problematic because of the inflammatory reactions people have with all the junk and the corn that this meat is filled up with, and dyes and colors. So people with hypoglycemia that are not eating enough beef to be able to store up the glycogen, they have issues with their blood sugar dropping too low. It goes high and then low, high, low, high, low. And what happens is the body keeps doing a desperate attempt to try to raise blood sugar, which keeps this boink, 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 boink thing. You don't want that. You don't want to back up the system and have partially digested, and then you're not filling up any glycogen, because that'll make the blood sugar get too low, then get too high, then get too low, too high, too low, too high. Then the thyroid starts getting pissed at you, and you start to have other issues going on with your body, especially your adrenal system. Just saw that was like that. Got this in Africa, you guys. All right, so hypoglycemics are really at risk at doing carnivore without it being keto. People are at risk of doing just a standard keto omnivore. Everybody's at risk if it's not done properly. You have to get your macros down. You have to know if you have hypochlorhydria. You have to know if you've got leaky gut, if you have a histamine response, if you're sensitive. And people don't talk about this because it complicates things and doesn't make people buy from them. But I'm here for longevity and for the truth, not to just quickly promise you a bunch of lies so I can make $1. Because I would have been rich a long time ago. You guys know I've been on, look, I got 67 in my live stream. I would have 3,000 if I made this all about weight loss. And then ran after all the famous people that I know to endorse me. But I don't. Because I don't do it for that stuff. Okay. Sexy Greek voice. I know you saw that.
I believe we should go to questions now.
I'll go to the next slide, and then we'll keep going.
Yeah.
I'm more over the time. I want to just go through the one more risk. So one more risk is people who've got histamine intolerance, unfortunately, and gout. So if you have issues with your kidneys due to eating a standard American diet, then being able to break down all this red meat because of the uric acid and the purines is also a problem. These are things that you have to be very careful of. That's why keto makes more sense, because it's going to be lower in protein, higher in fat, producing ketones. Blood sugar doesn't bounce all over the place. Blood sugar stays stable. That means healing the thyroid and healing your gut, your hypothyroidism, and your adrenal function all at the same time, and your sex hormones. Okay, let's go to the first slide. Okay, so the whole subject today, of course, is the side effects of the carnivore diet, which is what I've been describing. It's a couple of things. It's getting your histamine response up high, developing constipation, right? Because you have hypochlorhydria, which will create constipation trying to digest protein. Eating too lean of meat, right? Having a histamine reaction because you have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and the thyroid. So those are all the side effects. And then, of course, people don't have their electrolyte balance because they're not eating things like avocado, or they have an avocado allergy, which is the reason why they're even doing carnivore. But then you've got to learn how to make meat broth, right? You've got to be able to eat liver. You have to do the organ meats if you're going to do the carnivore diet, because this carnivore diet side effects is due to all the meat you see behind me, which most people promote, except for I think like Frank Tufano and Paul Saladino are now starting to talk about more fat. Next slide. Okay. So the meat cancer myth. This, excuse me. And we're live. Let's hope I don't do this in my next interview today. So I just want people to not be afraid. It's pretty much the title of this. People need to understand commercial beef that most of you buy it can be cancerous. I'm not going to lie. The way that these cows are treated a year, 15 months at feedlots and stuffed with corn, and they actually live short lives. They start getting sick. They're pumped with hormones, And then there's the preservatives and the food coloring. That's the problem. So when you see all these studies about meat being bad for you, it's not animals itself. And people are like, red meat's bad for you. No, it's not. It's got life in it. It's got amino acids in it. It's got leucine in it. It's got CoQ10 in it. It's got potassium in it. Has all this, got protein in it. It's got iron in it. It's got all these things that we need, right? And people have allergies off of plants if you think about it. I got a peanut allergy. I've got most of the allergies are from plants. Sometimes they're from certain meats because people develop histamine issues. But a straight off allergy typically is from like wheat gluten or peanuts or something like that, or a legume. Now, we can take that all away, and I'm going to take that away, and I'm going to go right into the questions. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Sherry, my friend is dealing with all types of issues, like can barely walk and autoimmune disease. I told him keto can help, and I'm going to invest in them by getting them a consultation with you. Thank you, Sherry. I think that would be really a smart decision because I get these skin issue questions all the time, and I don't know why people, I mean, this is how I make a living, but I help people. It's not like I'm just making money. I'm not selling a bunch of stuff. So I don't understand why people don't invest in a consultation because clearly you saw that picture. It works. If you work with enough people, you know with the individual person, you have to talk to somebody. We're not all the same. We all react differently because we have different levels of damage. Now, fundamentally, we're pretty much the same. Genetically, we're very similar. But when the Greek god was, or Greek guy was born and I was born, and the diet he was raised on, the diet I was raised on, and if he was breastfed or not, or the quality of his father's sperm or his mother, if he was vaginally birthed or breastfed, all this kind of stuff, that starts to change us with our epigenetics. Now let's see. Hi, Stephanie. Is there a way to naturally boost? Yeah.
I believe we should start from the beginning.
Okay. Let me just answer this last one.
Okay.
Hi, Stephanie. Is there a way that we can naturally boost testosterone on a man who is no longer producing any, according to their doctor? So Debbie, I don't know if he's on TRT or any type of hormone replacement therapy. Je t'aime. Thank you. Bonjour. Ça va bien? Okay. Anyway, so. Yes, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's got any disorder, but it's a possibility, Debbie. I don't know his age. I don't know if he's had any type of autoimmunity, but I would say that there is a chance if he's coming from a very toxic life, then when he cleans it up, the body's like, oh, okay, we can regenerate and start to fix things.
Can I go up now?
Yeah, and Deborah says she wish she had done her consultation so much earlier, but she's been around and helped me so much after the consultation and is on the course page. You guys have a keto course page that you would sign up. It's actually a course. I work my butt off on it. You'd sign up at stephanieperson.com. So it's very cheap. It's $15 a month. So you could do 1 month or many months, but it's worth it. Let me see. What does tucking mean? I have no idea. Okay. We're starting from the business.
Yeah, okay.
I went to the butcher and couldn't find a good cut of fatty meat, which is very common. You got to look for local farmers, ranches, things of this nature. Or you have to buy the fat separately. You can go to fatworks.com. I'm not sponsored by them. US Wellness Meats, Whole Foods, if you're in the US. These places sell tallow, lard, duck fat, which is more omega-6, but they sell all animal fat. And ghee and butter. Okay, yes, ribeye is very expensive, exactly. Keep going up where the arrow is down below. Oh, wait, I missed the one with this highlighted, my name. Okay, but that will work once we are fully adapted, right? What will work? Do you remember?
It was in the beginning of the stream.
Yeah?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Okay, sorry. Yes, ribeye. Okay, blah, blah, blah. George, tuck into something means to start eating it, to dig into. Oh, got it. I followed for 2 months of keto diet, and I had the better shape of my life. Now I'm trying to start doing it again. Definitely, George.
Welcome to the clubs, George. I am also starting. That was my New Year resolution.
Yes.
And I started my keto journey.
But not with me yet, because we haven't sat down.
No, we haven't sat down.
But it's been like Christmas and New Year's and all this stuff.
Yeah. And yesterday I had to eat the cookies of my wife.
He hasn't started yet. You started.
Today I
clean.
had
Coffee?
only coffee with butter and.
You got to
a
do 1
slice-
month no coffee.
Huh?
He said I did coffee with butter.
That's why I'm not going keto. I'm going low carb.
You just said
High
keto
carb.
2 seconds
Low
ago.
carb is coffee with.
It's actually not.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Stuart says, my butcher is out of bone. Damn, okay, please sub in Scotch fillet. What? Scotch fillet for my bulk order? I've never heard of that. Okay, let's keep going. Stuff I can't eat beef apart from mince, and I seem to get some good fat out of. Why can't you eat beef? That is mince. Okay. Deborah's reminding you guys to book a consultation. Go to stephanieperson.com. So she wrote it for those on the replay. How to spell it all. Abyss says, as soon as I cut my protein by more than half and up my fats with grass-fed butter, I'm sleeping better, have more energy and libido through the roof. LOL. Steph is bang on. Thanks, girl. Save me. Thank you, Abyss. So the whole point is to raise your fats. Okay? 12 tablespoons of fat is only 167. That's added fat, honey child. 12 tablespoons only get you at 167. Yo, you need to get over 200. All right. I didn't know beautiful women poop. Okay. You should have warned me on that one.
Well, it was funny though.
Yo, where the cheese? I never eat cheese, but now I need to. Okay. Her consultations are amazing. She customizes a plan just for you. Yes, definitely. Would you interview Frank Tufano? People keep asking me that. What do you guys want me to interview him about? I think he called me old once. Yes. Yes. I was actually watching one of his live streams, and they're like, oh, you need to talk to Steph. And he's like, she's kooky. Oh, he said I was kooky and old. I was like, okay, people. Plus, I've been working with people with autoimmunity for freaking 10 years. And just start talking about that stuff right now. But I think a lot of stuff that he's doing that's great. Okay. What are some of the mechanisms that cause candida? Antibiotics, water, birth control pills, TRT, chemicals, glyphosate on food, plastic. No, not plastic bottles. Some pharmaceuticals, proton pumps, stomach acid lowering, hypochlorhydria, amalgam fillings, lots of stuff. Alcohol, love that she can, or things that make it grow. That's a whole list. Coffee, so you know he's all yeasted out. See, Stephanie, I have a fungal infection and I have inflamed lymph nodes on my neck, and scalp. Would fasting for 3 days? No. Seb, keto carnivore, straight up. I'm telling you. And not to sell myself, but if you got all these things, a consultation or getting on the course page would help, because I have days specifically like today's Ask Steph. They ask me questions, I answer. Like more in depth than this. Because Steph, my friend, is dealing with all types of issues, like can barely walk and autoimmune disease. I read this. Told him that kid. Okay, keep going. Beef heart is good for vitamin C. There's a little bit, but I would say that trachea, the organs are better. Well, the heart is an organ. Trachea and the liver is better for vitamin C. And hi, Stephanie. Is there, and spleen, I think. Is there a way to naturally boost testosterone? Okay, yeah. Zinc, obviously, organ meats. Okay, lots of butter for the cholesterol, because sex hormones are made out of cholesterol. Foods high in DHEA. Getting stressed down, sleeping better, getting off. There's so many. And I'm running out of time. Okay, je t'aime, Stephanie, bonjour, de France. Let me see. Hey, Deborah, long time. Let me see. Hi, Happy New Year. I'm subscribing to the course. Awesome, Nikki. Thank you. Happy New Year. Okay, she's answering back. Do you actually eat fat from parts of the steak? Duh. Of course. That's the love.
That's what makes
it taste good.
Taste good, yeah.
Exactly. I was Caribbean and the meat was ultra lean, no fatty. Isn't that true? Grass fed. Isn't that true in Caribbean? No, child. Not in the Caribbean islands. There ain't no grass. There ain't no cows running around there, child. Maybe some goats. Fatty meat fatty meat can, you mean meat, grain fed? I wouldn't say doing any beef grain fed, but if you don't got money, I can understand Sean Baker pushing that, and I understand Frank Tufano saying please eat high quality animals coming from New Zealand. I agree with that too. Congratulations, Greek guy. You're going to love it. He's not doing keto though, people. Let's keep it real. He's sitting there with like a coffee and butter. Okay, I'm day 2 on keto. Yay, Miss Martin. Hey, Stephanie, how can I heal peptic ulcer without acid blocking? Okay, first of all, get off the proton pumps. If you have an ulcer, you can't just run towards betaine HCl, or you can't run towards apple cider vinegar because it can really irritate that weakened mucus lining of the stomach. You said peptic? Was it peptic? Yeah. Ooh, that's bad. Peptic ulcer right there. I would say that you should do eat your food incredibly slow. I would definitely do some get your electrolytes. You can keep things in balance. Basically, to heal that ulcer, it takes time. You can do things like glutamine. Be very careful. Some people have a reaction to glutamine. You can do gelatin, but also there's a problem with gelatin because of there's oxalates, and also people react to the glutamate. So we got to take everything. But healing an ulcer without using, do you use proton? You use omeprazole. Omeprazole, people use omeprazole. You could use omeprazole. To be honest, if you have a peptic ulcer that bad, get off all the food that exacerbates the ulcer. Do proton pump for 2 weeks. That's it. Get off the proton pump. Get some sleep. Get some rest, and that peptic ulcer will heal. Now, later down the line, if it's due to H. pylori, you might want to think of mastic gum if you don't react to it, or Matula tea will also help to get rid of the bacteria, the bacteria infection. Okay, how can I heal my gut? My family and I experienced strep. Okay, so again, it is rest, digest, sleep, right? So you don't have an ulcer, right? Because you just have, where am I? What did you say you had? You have, your gut. So with the gut's pretty simple to heal if you guys rotate your foods, eat like bison, beef, lamb, pork, dark meat of the chicken, organ meats, rotate them every 3 days. Eat high fat, make sure you don't have a histamine response to it, and I promise you that gut wall will go to bed early, sleep, use blue blockers, diaphragmatic breathe, meditate, and that gut will heal. It will, I promise you. Okay, but most people don't do those things I just said. Don't work out at night, don't stress, you shouldn't have a night job, like all those things. Don't have like the phone in the bed. I mean, there's a million things that you need to do. Okay, also, and it will heal. It will heal very quickly if you guys just chill out with the gut. The gut wall will tighten up because that's what's happening. Leaky gut is this. Then that wall gets tight, and that's just from getting the stress down and staying away from inflammatory things and chemicals and, all kinds of stuff. Is alkaline water? Alkaline water is the most stupid, dumb idea I've ever heard of in my life. If there's one stupid human thing, not you, but it's the alkaline water, because parts of our body are very acidic, and it'll alkalinize your stomach acid. We need stomach acid to digest and extract the nutrients from it. It will dilute your stomach acid. The stomach must be very acidic. It's the small intestine and the blood that must be alkaline. The body knows what to do with normal spring water. Get rid of this alkaline, just water nonsense. Okay, let's keep going. Black pepper triggers histamine very much.
I would suggest Fiji.
It's expensive. Let's move on. People can afford that stuff. It's the taste. People say like spring water is the best. Okay. So for those, can black pepper trigger histamine response? Yes. Stay away from black pepper. It's super histamine. It's a high histamine. Black pepper, cinnamon, lemon, apple cider vinegar, fish that's not fresh, meat that's been out too long because the bacteria creates histamine, cheese, sometimes butter. People got butter sensitivities. Egg whites, those are all high histamine. Spinach, which has oxalates. Okay, avocados. For those on a budget, get supermarket lean beef and spend your budget on high quality butter. I agree, Abyss, because leaner meats are going to be cheaper than the fattier cuts. Or get ground beef, because ground beef is pretty cheap to get grass fed if it's going to be beef. It's going to be $1.50 difference if you buy corn fed. So you might as well just get grass fed ground beef. Are lemons genetically modified to have more sugar? They do have a little bit of fructose in there, and I believe, yes, they are modified. Have you ever been starch-based vegan? I don't mean to be rude, but my intuition as a child always knew that that would be the dumbest thing to do my body. I'm 52. You guys know when I was a kid and veganism was just starting to pop up, I was like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. We need meat to survive. I didn't know why it was intuitive. Now I know it's, I would never be vegan. No, not if I want to live and not die and get some Paco eyeballs and have like receding gum line and cataracts, which all my strict vegan friends are starting to develop now. A little blue line around the eyes, called cataract. Okay, type 1 diabetic warrior 25 right on. Oh, okay. Yeah, people with type 1 can do keto carnivore, not carnivore, because that puts you at risk. Has to be keto. And type 2 diabetes. What are your minimum fat protein requirements for what? A woman? Depends on your size. Not everybody's the same, and that's too much of a general question. If you gave me your height, your weight, and if you're active, I would say between 45 and 60 grams of protein. It just depends on height and exercise and blah, blah. And fat minimum is always 200, nothing lower on keto. Are we good?
Yeah.
So I think we have to get ready for the next, and we got to get ready for the interview.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for today's live stream. Thank you so much. I'm going to be interviewing Ken Berry right now. Stay tuned. I'll announce more information. That's the Greek guy right there. This is Stephanie, the business person at 52, 12 years strict on keto, did carnivore for almost a year. I know what I'm talking about. I coach, and I love this stuff, and I love my thunder. Now I gotta go.